Today, we're going to pull apart one of the most common and frankly most expensive mistakes in marketing. We're going to look at a framework that aligns not with who your customer is, but with how they're actually thinking right now. This is a really deep but simple key to unlocking serious growth.
So let's kick things off with the absolute core of the problem, this right here. The greatest strategic failure in funnel design is what we call the product-first trap. We get so excited about our product, our solution, our features, and we completely forget about the person on the other side of the screen. We think they care about what we sell. But here's the hard truth, the neurological fact. They only care about what they already know, what's already on their mind. This one single mistake is why almost all marketing campaigns.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to define the conversion crisis that this whole product-first thing creates. Then we'll get into the solution, the 5 rungs of awareness. After that, we'll do a deep dive into the psychology of why this works so well. From there, it's all about action, a practical framework for mastery. And we'll wrap up with the big unifying principle that's going to change how you see marketing for good.
Okay, let's start with the painful truth, shall we? Every single marketer, every business owner feels this. You've built a funnel, you're getting traffic, but the numbers, they just aren't adding up. Your funnel is leaking money. So the real question is, where's the leak coming from and why?
Well, the leak is coming from this number, 97%. That is the percentage of your potential customers, the huge majority of your market, that most marketing funnels completely, totally ignore. They are just invisible to product-first marketing. Just think about that for a second. Imagine 100 people land on your website. Your entire message is probably built for only 3 of them.
And this chart really shows you the scale of the problem. See that tiny little bar on the left? That's the most aware part of your market, the 3%. They're shopping, they're comparing, they are ready to buy. And guess what? Every single one of your competitors is fighting over those same 3 people. But that massive bar on the right, that's everybody else, the 97%. They might have a problem they can't even name yet, or maybe they don't even realize they have a problem at all. And by leading with your product, you are completely invisible to them.
And there's a neurological reason for this. It's a concept called irrelevance friction. See, when your message doesn't line up with what a person is actually thinking about right now, their current awareness, their brain has to work harder to figure it out. And the brain is, well, kind of lazy. It's built to save energy. So it just flags your message as irrelevant noise and tunes it out. Pitching your solution to someone who hasn't even accepted the problem isn't just a bad idea, it's neurologically irritating. You basically become spam before they even get a chance to see your value. Okay, so if throwing our product at 97% of people just creates friction, what's the solution? Simple. We don't push, we guide. And the map for that journey is the 5 rungs of the awareness ladder. This is the secret blueprint for persuasion. This is the key that unlocks the other 97% of your market. Every single one of your customers for any product in any market is on one of these 5 psychological rungs right now. They go from being totally unaware of a problem all the way up to being most aware and ready to pull out their credit card. Your job isn't to drag them to the top. It's to meet them on whatever rung they're on and just help them take that next small step up. So let's break each one down. So the first rung is unaware. These people have absolutely no clue they even have a problem that needs solving. Let's say you sell software for accountants. These people aren't thinking about better accounting. They're just trying to get through their day. So you can't talk about your software. Your goal is to sell the realization. You need a hook of intrigue, a surprising stat, a fascinating story, a new trend that makes them stop and go, huh, I never thought about that before. You're not selling your product, you're selling the problem. Now, once they realize a problem exists, they climb to rung 2, problem aware. They can feel the pain, they see the symptoms, but they can't quite put their finger on it. They just know something's off. Here, your goal is to sell the explanation. Your tool is the hook of empathy. You diagnose their pain for them. You give it a name. You show them you understand what they're going through, maybe even better than they do. This builds an incredible amount of trust. Suddenly, you're not a salesperson, you're the expert who finally gets it. At rung 3, they become solution aware. They've put a name to their problem, and now they're looking around knowing there are ways to solve it. Now, this part is crucial. You still don't talk about your specific product. Your goal here is to sell the category, your unique way of solving the problem. You use a hook of mechanism to introduce your proprietary method, your unique system. You're teaching them that out of all the possible solutions out there, your kind of solution is the smartest one. Now, and only now, at rung 4 do we finally get to talk about our product. The customer is product aware. They've accepted the problem, they get the pain, and they believe your method is the right way to go. So now they're looking right at you. Your goal is simple.
sell your superiority. This is where the hook of proof comes in. Features, benefits, case studies, demos. This is where you prove beyond a doubt that your product is the single best version of the mechanism they already believe. And finally, we hit the top of the ladder, rung 5, most aware. These are the 3% we talked about way back at the beginning. They know the problem, they know the solution, and they know your product. They are ready to go. Your goal here is crystal clear: sell the transaction. Your tool is the hook of urgency. The offer, the price, the guarantee, the deadline, the bonus. You're just making it as easy and compelling as possible for them to take that final step.
So we have the 5 rungs, but why does this work so incredibly well? Why is meeting people where they are so much more effective than just shouting about your product? Well, the answer comes down to 2 really powerful psychological principles that basically run how our brains process information and make choices. First up is this idea of cognitive fluency. So on the left, you have what old school funnels create: irrelevance friction. The message doesn't match where the customer's head is at, so their brain has to work hard, it feels salesy, and they just tune you out. But on the right, that's what the awareness ladder creates: cognitive fluency. Because your message perfectly matches their current thoughts, it's just easy for their brain to process. It's low effort. It doesn't feel like a sales pitch at all. It feels like you're reading their mind. It feels like you're guiding them.
The second big psychological lever here is the consistency principle. This is a huge driver of human behavior. Our brains are hardwired to want to stay consistent with our beliefs, our past decisions, and our future actions. We all want to be and be seen as consistent people, and the awareness ladder uses this drive masterfully. So here's how that actually works. As you guide someone up the ladder, you're not asking them for a huge, scary commitment. You're just getting a series of small internal yeses. At rung 2, they think, yes, I do have that problem. Then at rung 3, they agree, yes, that is the right way to solve it. By the time you actually ask for the sale, the final purchase doesn't feel like some impulsive risk. It's just the simple, logical next step in a series of decisions they've already made. It just makes sense. Okay, we've covered the what and the why. This all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually put it into practice? Let's switch gears from understanding the concept to actually mastering the application. Here's a straightforward, actionable framework you can use to implement this today. There are really just 3 steps to mastery. First, you have to do a rung audit. Look at every single way people find you: your ads, your social media, Google search, and map each of those sources to a rung on the ladder. Second, you have to define the entry hook. For each of those rungs, you need to create specific content, the right hook to meet them right there. And finally, and this is the most important part, you have to measure rung-to-rung velocity. This is your new key metric. Forget just tracking sales. Track how quickly and effectively you are moving people from one rung to the next. That is the true health of your funnel.
And all of this brings us to the core philosophical shift that this whole framework is really about. It's a fundamental change in how you see your role. You're not a product pusher. Your job is something way more valuable and, at the end of the day, way more profitable. See, the real goal of this whole system is to make the sale happen inside the customer's head before you even mention the price. It's about guiding their own internal journey, helping them connect the dots for themselves, and letting them come to their own conclusion that your solution is the one for them. When you do this right, the transaction is just a formality. It's just them confirming a decision they've already made.
And this is the one idea that ties it all together. You have to stop thinking about pushing people through some rigid, one-size-fits-all funnel. Instead, your job is to create this gravitational pull toward the value you offer. And you do that by having the empathy and the strategy to meet people exactly where they are on their rung of the ladder and speaking only to what they already know and already care about.
So, I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. I want you to look at your own marketing, your ads, your website, your emails. Are you building a funnel that's designed to push a product onto everybody no matter what they're thinking? Or are you building a ladder thoughtfully designed to guide a real human being one step at a time toward clarity and a real solution? The choice and the results are yours.